We're really only doing like a couple of things each day and then testing. And yet I'm still so exhausted. Something's not adding up. Hey sweet friend, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maylene Call from Mrs. Call's Campers. If you're new here, I am a K1 combo teacher this year, which means I am teaching kindergarten and first grade at the same time. This is the second vlog, so if you haven't seen the first vlog, make sure you check up here. Last week was a shortened week. We had Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Did not really do our full routines. This week, I have a schedule, I have everything planned out, and there is a lot going on. I also have a lot to do this morning. It's not even 7 o'clock, but I feel like I need to get going. First thing, we are doing boot camp this week, mostly for our supplies. I'm gonna start ABC boot camp with my kinders next week, and then with first graders this week, I'm doing beginning and ending sounds and sentence features. I'm hoping to start a lot of things this week, really testing on our schedule, seeing if everything is gonna work. So for our kindergarten first grade boot camp, I did order some camo tablecloths. I went to Party City and they didn't have any like camo themed anything, which I thought they would, but they don't. And I got some balloons. Where are you? Can't see them. They're over here. And then I put up these decorations. It says welcome to boot camp. Hold on. Welcome to boot camp. And then I waited an hour at Party City to get these balloons blown up. Also, they're mowing, so if you hear that, sorry. I got helium in them and they're already falling, and I'm like, I waited an hour and paid like money for them, and they did not last a day. Am I the only one that thought helium was supposed to last longer? You know? That's kind of sad and depressing. So yeah, I don't have the tablecloths yet, but it's okay. We've got boot camp themed things happening. So I've got their dog tags. I can't show you the actual pieces. I laminated the front of their dog tags though. And then today they're gonna earn their crayon and marker dog tags. Also, I have boot camp on the door, so when I open it, they'll see it. Show you my outfit in case you care. Also this weekend, I prepped lunch. Nothing fancy, but some Trader Joe's, what was it, Kung Pao chicken, my favorite now, and some rice. So I have lunches today, not just a Lunchable. I also got some other stuff for my fridge. So some stuff up there, some fruit and things, chocolates at the top, of course. I'm gonna go ahead and put the chairs down. Also, can I just say, when I went to San Francisco with my husband, which I vlogged it, you can watch it up here, I went to Biscoff and they had a cookie butter latte. I was like, oh, I bet that's delicious. And I watched them make it. They literally put cookie butter in the cup and then the espresso drips onto the cookie butter and like melts it. So I made that this morning. I bought cookie butter especially for this, and it's really good. So if you have cookie butter and you make your own like espresso, try it. Okay, so this weekend I baked my kids worry stones. I also did not have time to do my nails, so don't judge. So they just have their little thumbprint in here. Again, watch last week's vlog if you're not really sure what I'm talking about. Also, can I just say, when I went to San Francisco with my husband, which I vlogged it, you can watch it up here, and then the entire time I was sitting at my classroom, I could not find this little voice level light that I was telling you guys about in my classroom haul. Could not find it anywhere. It was in my car. So I get to do that. Probably this morning I'll introduce how to use it. You really can't tell, but it has the different colors. That'll mean different things. Okay, these are my plans. I have golf clicker written up here because I want to use that for interruptions. I'll talk about that after school. And then I made a little to-do list up here for the morning. So I'm going to make poems or print off poems, and then my PowerPoint slides I think are good. And then I'm going to do an anchor chart for morning meeting, 1 student per day, and we'll kind of talk about them for our morning meeting. And then this is what the mess of my plans looks like. I am starting testing. And then, yeah, you can just take a little peek. I'll talk about it all week. We survived our first Monday, and it felt like it was a week long. I almost told people I'll have a good weekend at the end of the day. It is 3:45. We had a staff meeting after school. And then I was kind of trying to figure out what the kindergarten team and the first grade team were doing. I think I got that all figured out, so that's good. Our day today, I think it went really well. I did forget that I was going to introduce our calendar routine. Completely forgot about that, but that's okay. So we started off with our boot camp. We did our crayons boot camp, and you know what I'm realizing? I did not show you what any of that looks like. So I think I'll show you my PowerPoint. So we did our morning message, and then for morning meeting, I'm covering it here because everything I'm covering says someone's name. So we put the student at the top, and then we write their name, likes, and then whatever they like, their name, likes, whatever they like. So it kind of looks like this. I have them come up to the front, May likes, and we have them do 3 things they like, and we all do it together, spell it together, all that stuff. My TV actually was not connected to my computer this morning, so we didn't even do our morning song. Did not even do our alphabet song till later in the day because we do it 2 times a day. And then we went into our boot camp, and this is the little rhyme I did. If you download Stephanie's product, I'm using most of her resources. She has a little boot camp rhyme, but I'm doing kinder and first grade, so I modified it. So they just repeat after me, and we stand up and march. I don't know, but I've been told kindergartners have big goals. First graders are here to lead. We'll all learn to write and read. Boot camp helps us learn our tools so that we can learn at school. And then I say sound off, and they say K1. Some teachers, like my friend Kayla, moved mountains in kindergarten. She does boot camp all in one day. I didn't want to rush through it, especially with this group. Like, they're not really the best at following directions right now. They're very slow. I didn't want to do centers around the room. So what I did instead was just had us do it as a group. I'm actually very impressed with kindergartners did this, because kindergarten coloring most of the time, a lot of the times they just don't care. Of course, now I can't find it. So what I did for the boot camp is I had them all on the carpet. I don't have a document camera yet, so I just put it on my little whiteboard, and we talked about coloring, how to use our crayons, which they already know, and then we talked about like the way we color. First graders did these pictures. Like this, first grader. Kindergartners did this. They just did a rainbow with their colors. First grader, kindergartner, first grader. But it's actually helpful for me to see because I have one kindergartner who got 2 little rainbows done, so you can kind of see like how they work on things normally, and you can kind of see like which students you might need to divide up work for, even with the first graders. After the crayon boot camp, we moved into our split literacy block. So I took the first graders on the carpet, whole group. I just got my school computer today, so I'll be able to use the whiteboard tomorrow, which will help. I had to do everything on the TV today, so they couldn't come up and write, so it was very complicated. But we did some beginning sounds. We focused on A, short sound, the short and lazy sound. I started by going over our superhero vowels as part of our secret stories, talk about the short and lazy sound. A says ah, E says eh, and then we talk about the strong superhero sound, A. That's better. So I'm going to review those every day. And then we went into beginning sounds, and I thought the perfect thing for this was Move Mountain in Kindergarten, Kayla's Crack the Code, because you have to get the beginning sound to figure out the word. So we did, this is a cat, so k, a, b, and then blended it cab, and a lot of them, they did really, really well with this. There was only like 1 out of my first graders who wasn't even blending it. Like, they would look at this and go k, a, b, cab. Like, they were doing it really quickly, which is great. That's what we want. So we're focusing on the short A sound for all of these. I had them come up and write it again on my whiteboard. This was displayed on the TV. And then we did some sight words, and we did a shared writing, and I think it was something simple, just trying to get a feel for how they, just for where they're at, because we haven't tested them just yet. We just started today. So we did I like to play, and I also introduced one of our secret stories up here, AY and EY. So while I was doing that with my first graders, my kindergartners were actually in the library right here. So we were here, and my aide had the kinders in the library right there. She actually had, I lost my pocket chart, so I literally taped the poem to an old whiteboard, but we did rainbow hair, which I honestly have to thank my friend Anne-Marie for helping me through this whole poetry thing. I wanted to incorporate more poetry this year. She has a first grade poetry kit that I have, and then she did do it with kindergarten, and I kind of checked with her to see like, oh, what poems did you like? But this is the poem they did today. So rainbow purple, rainbow blue, rainbow green and yellow too, rainbow orange, rainbow red, rainbow colors on my head, colors everywhere. I like rainbows in my hair. And that's going to be their poem for the whole week. I'll show you the poetry schedule tomorrow, but they're going to get eventually a poem, and it'll be in here. This is an example of a first graders poetry folder that, again, we just started today. So this is the first graders poem. It's hard to show you with me. And this is from Anne-Marie's resource. I will link it for you in the description box. So then my aide took the first graders, did their poetry folder, did phonemic awareness. I'm using Heggerty still. I don't have the first grade one because when I did Heggerty in first grade, the school bought it, so I didn't take it. And then last year in kindergarten, I bought this, and I think it's like $70 or $80. I might buy the first grade one or ask for it because it's so good. But she just goes through this, and I've showed this before, but I'm having the first graders, since I don't have the other one, I'm having them just start at like week 11 to kind of get a feel for where they are. So for example, let's see, today would say 3 words, they'd repeat the 2 rhyming words. So if I said had, dad, mud, they would say had, dad. So it's all listening. And then with my kindergartners, we did colors, we read Pete the Cat, I Love My White Shoes. And then for the rest of the day, we pretty much tested, because that would normally be my small group time. So we assessed beginning sounds and then letter ID for right now. And tomorrow's going to be pretty much the same, except I am going to actually do our calendar routine, but today was a little bit crazy. I'll show you our cleanup slide though, because I like it. Okay, so here's our cleanup slide. So I went up to the front, I was like, number 1, they all said it, help friends clean. Number 2, get lunch. Number 3, wait on their leaf, learning leaf. And then I had the timer going. And I really like this setup. I think it's working really well. It's so funny though, because I know this goes for every kindergartner, but for example, it says, help friends clean up, get lunch, if you have it, and then wait on your leaf. Every kindergartner, what if I don't have a lunch? I don't have a lunch. It's just a lot right now. Oh, also I introduced our voice level lights, and that went really, really well. And then I introduced my bell, which is something that I use during center. So if I ring it 2 times, it means they're being too loud. Then I also thought it was really funny because we had them do free choice for the first part while we were testing, and then I put on one of those cosmic yoga things just to keep them, you know, hopefully a little bit more quieter, because right now they're all still playing like super loud. And I heard one of them, I guess someone was popping their bubble, which is another thing that I teach them. This is your bubble. No one should pop it. Do not pop anyone's bubble. And I heard one of them say, be a leader, not a boss, during yoga. And I love that, because those are our class rules, be a leader, not a boss. And we went over them again this morning. And then you also hear kindergartners saying, don't pop my bubble. Sorry, good morning. Today's Tuesday. I'm just laughing because I just figured out that I can change the focus on my camera by turning the little ring around the lens. And here I thought all this time something was wrong with my camera. If you guys thought I was good at vlogging, you would be wrong. Okay, so today is Tuesday. It's Tuesday morning. It's about 6:50. I feel like I've gotten here at 6:44, like every day, oddly enough, like strange time. I have a couple of things to do this morning. I got a really long cord, a power cord for my Apple TV, because I feel like I explained before, my power cord is too short. So I think this will reach. What else do I need to do this morning? I did make some little shoe card things for Pete the Cat. I'm gonna print them. Hopefully they print out okay in color. I know our school color printer is running low and I forgot to do it at my house, but it literally is just these shoes. I'm not going to print, actually I'm only going to print the colors that are in the book. I have a couple of things to show you. I talked about this on my Instagram, but Madison Campbell, Miss Campbell's creator, she sent me this book. She sent me a couple of other things, so I'm really grateful for that. And then my mother-in-law sent me yesterday this book, The Last Leaf, and this for math. It's like a little hundreds chart. I think this is wonderful. And I do have it built into my day. Not right now because we're doing boot camp, but I do have it built in my day that we're going to do a read aloud together. So my entire class together, and I'm just going to differentiate the activities, but I'm going to be using Primary Scouts for that. Oh my gosh. I just looked over and I did not see my peace lily, and I got so scared that it fell, but I forgot that I actually watered it yesterday. I thought it fell off of my little book thing. I was terrified. Gotta take care of our plant babies. Much better. Okay, I bought a bunch of these little fidget things, and I bought some other ones yesterday, the little tangles. So now I think I have enough for everybody in my class. In the past, I've just given it to kids who like needed it, I could tell, but this class just really wants something to hold, and I'm like, you know what? Honestly, I don't care. Whatever you need. I checked in with the kinder teachers yesterday to see like where they are in math, because I know they go out of order. And next week they're going to be doing positions and then continue doing like shapes. And so I stole a copy of the pages they picked from their workbook, and that's something that I'm going to give to my aide to do whenever she has free time before next week. I learned that my aide really likes to be busy, so I'm trying to be really good about planning ahead and give her as much to do on like her maybe list as possible. So yeah. Okay, look what came. I think there's 3. Yeah, there's 3 in each pack. We'll see. I don't know how I'm going to do it, so I'm going to put you on a time lapse. It's way after school. I'm very tired, just very tired overall. I feel like I didn't really sleep too well last night, and that might have played a part in it, but we were also very busy today. So I think I showed you the room for boot camp. If not, I'll show you that now. Next, I thought it was really sweet. One of my parents brought in a card for me this morning saying like, welcome to the school. I feel like we did so much and I am just exhausted. We're still testing, so we did a lot of testing today. I'm a little bit sad because one of my first graders who I was really excited to have in here is getting moved next door just because her mom really didn't want her in a combo class, and that's okay. What else? It was so funny because I decorated my actual physical door outside with some of the camo tablecloth, like these here that you see, and one of my kids came in and they were like, why is there camo? I'm like, because we're doing boot camp. Like, he didn't get it, but it's okay. The other kids did. Even halfway through the day, he was like, why is there camo? It's like, because we're doing boot camp. Oh, but it's okay. They were sweet. It's worked out really nice because I've given just a little bit of instruction to my first graders, and then I sent them off, and then I worked with my kindergartners right up close. Today we did scissors, which was one of the hardest things. I did learn a trick. I saw it, maybe Pinterest, maybe Instagram, I'm not sure, but you put a smiley face or something on top of the scissors, so I put a little star, and that way they know which side up to hold it. This was very hard. I was so explicit about we only cut paper, and as I'm sitting on the carpet with my kinders, one of my kids is trying to cut his pants, and I'm like, only paper. What else did we do today? It was scissors and pencils. Pencils went great. I was actually really surprised because a lot of my kindergartners could even hold their pencil the right way. But one of my first graders was having trouble, which is interesting. But again, I feel like it's good that we're doing these things. And it's been nice because I've been slowly introducing our supplies to the caddies. We didn't fully get through everything today. I was really hoping to introduce calendar and I totally forgot. So I do have my calendar pulled up. That is my calendar. I'll talk more with you about that routine once I actually do it, and hopefully everything goes well, but I'm really hoping for it to be kind of interactive, have kids come up and do the calendar with me. I don't know, I'm just getting to know my kids more, which is really nice. Again, really sad one of them is leaving. Oh, let me show you what went really well. So like I already explained, whenever we come back in from our first recess, I take the first graders and my aide takes the kindergartners, and she does phonemic awareness and poetry with them, and that is working out really, really well. And then I have my first graders go to their book bins, get their poetry folder, and then meet her on the library, and the kinders just rotate to me, and we're doing colors. So yesterday we read Pete the Cat, I Love My White Shoes, and we did it again today. But I was able to go ahead and print just literally the most basic shoe color cards of all the colors that his shoe turns. And then I have my I words cards that we've been doing. This one's flipped upside down, and they're actually doing really well with these. They're all flipped upside down. Okay. I gave one of them a card and I gave one of them a shoe, and then when I read it, it was their job to come up to the front and hold it up. So it sounded something like, what color did it turn his shoes? And then when I said blue, the person who was holding the word blue and the person who was holding the blue shoe came up, and we did that, and that worked out really well. It was also great for listening comprehension. Okay. And then we did a little gumball activity, so I brought out one of my giant dice, and this was really just previewing them for something they're going to work on independently tomorrow, and I drew a gumball machine. So I had them come up one at a time, roll the dice, we counted it together, which a lot of them I'm actually surprised they can subitize pretty well. And then I had all of the color cards in my hand, and I had them pick a random one. So if they got blue and they got 2, which we counted, they took a dot marker and they added 2 blue gumballs. So tomorrow I'm gonna have them work in partners and try it out and see how that goes. And I'm kind of doing that same method with my first graders because I would love to start introducing centers next week, hopefully if we're done with testing. And so the activity that I've been doing with my first graders is Crack the Code by Move Mountains in Kindergarten. I already talked about it, but we've been doing it whole group. So then when they go into centers next week, it'll be an activity that they know. They're also loving all of these fidgets. We're still kind of not super solid on those because a lot of them are swinging them and throwing them, and so I'm having to take a lot away, but that is okay. So it's nice that I have my Apple TV hooked up. The aspect ratio is a little bit different because this is like a small whiteboard. You can't really see. It's a small whiteboard, so it's not like full size, so I have to kind of shrink my PowerPoints in a way, but it'll be nice because I can have like our morning message up here, and then we can do our morning song on this screen, and I can work with 2 screens, which I really enjoy doing anyway. And then I also can have my students sign in the morning, which is part of my normal routine that I haven't been able to do because I haven't been able to use my projector. So what they do, and I can't show you obviously because it's their names, is they'll come up here with an expo marker and they will just trace right on top of their name, and that helps with handwriting, name practice, and then it also helps me with attendance because I can just look up and see, oh, who's not here. I totally forgot to give them their dog tags today, which they were really sad about, but that's okay. The other thing is we did a couple of our About Me bags today. Loved it. And so I'm doing that as like our morning meeting, and then if we have a little bit of extra time, and we're making anchor charts about each student and they're taking it home, which they love. The last thing I want to remind you about is we are testing, and what I always do is give my kids a little fidget. This one is actually really great for testing because you can set it on the table. They can just feel it and they really like it. One of my kids was like, Miss Call, this is very entertaining. Like, she really liked it, and it keeps them from like being super wiggly or like pulling their shirt. This is something I will do forever. It helps them with their anxiety a lot, and I had a couple of kids today who really needed it. So definitely give your kids some kind of fidget when you test them. I don't even say anything. I just put it in front of them and they just naturally will pick it up or touch it and use it. So that's great. The other thing, my voice level light, this thing right here is working really well. I'm gonna say it's working a little bit too well because I had it green while they were doing free choice. So green is normal talking voice. And then we were lining up for lunch and I hadn't turned it off. And one of my students was talking in line. I was like, when we're in line, our voice is, and they'll say off. And he was like, but the light's green. And I was like, when we're in line, our voice is off, but the light's green. So we're working with those friends who really want to challenge us. Honestly though, I'm really tired, so I'm gonna go home. I will probably be here again early tomorrow morning to do things. I also am super happy because I asked if we could order a couple of things for fine motor for my students, and my school went ahead and ordered these for me. These are really cool. They're called pop beads. They're kind of like old-fashioned, but they link into each other. If you've seen like the toys that toddlers use, they're really big and they have like a little piece that sticks out and they push them together. This is just like the smaller version. You can see it here. And my kids are going to do fine motor bins in the morning, hopefully starting next week. Everything's taking a really long time. I have some water beads. I have this for fine motor, just the lacing. This is really good. And then this was one of my kindergartners' favorite things last year. It looks like this. You probably recognize it. So I'm gonna have them start with a lowercase one. I'm probably gonna like put tape on this side or something so that they practice with this one first. And also even my first graders, a lot of them are writing with all capital letters instead of all lowercase letters, so we're working on that. And then there's a couple more in the office, but I have some big floor puzzles, which these are really great for introducing centers and independent time. Okay, so that's everything I have. Hopefully that wasn't too long. I'm gonna check in with you guys tomorrow morning. Good morning. Today is Wednesday. I slept in a little bit this morning, which was great. Still managed to get here around the same time because I didn't do anything with my hair. I'm just checking my plans for today. So I'm gonna do that gumball activity with my kindergartners, so I need to make them little personal gumball machines. And the first graders, we're gonna be doing sentence mix it fix it. Hold on. Like I said, I'm trying to introduce activities that they're gonna be doing in centers. Since we haven't started centers yet, we haven't started small groups or anything like that yet, and it's really helpful to do this because the center activities at the beginning of the year are supposed to be review things from kindergarten. We'll see how they do with these. I feel like they'll do okay. These are from Just a Primary Girl. I have a bunch of different task boxes with them, and what they do is each little set has a picture. So this is a bird, this one has a rainbow, this one has flowers on the back. So they separate all of the pictures. So these are all my rainbows. You flip them over and then they build a sentence with them. So they obviously have to know capital letter, it's going to be at the front. They have to know punctuation, it's going to be at the end. And these have little pictures to help them with the word if they need like a little clue. And they basically just rearrange them into a sentence, and we're going to be working on that today, talking about parts of a sentence. I might introduce them to our Writing Superstar song. I think I will. Why not, right? Everyone loves the Writing Superstar song. Apparently Wednesday at my school is School Spirit Day every week, I guess. I don't know. So they gave me like a ton of shirts yesterday. So I put one of their school spirit shirts, doesn't have the name of the school spirit shirt, over a dress so I could feel a little bit cuter than just jeans today. Ooh, I said we were gonna do Play-Doh today. That's not gonna happen. I forgot to make Play-Doh, but I was doing Play-Doh tomorrow. Okay, Play-Doh tomorrow. And then I'm gonna get some handwriting and some number samples from them today. We're really only doing like a couple of things each day and then testing. And yet I'm still so exhausted. Something's not adding up. Today was a lot. I think the hardest thing for me today is, number one, my class is so talkative. I legit, at the end of the day, I was so tired. I was tired of just talking over kids, because I've chatted with a lot of teachers about this recently, and it's good to know that I'm not alone, but it's just like they don't even realize we're in school. And so after I was tired of interrupting myself 20 different times today, I was like, we're gonna have 1 minute of no talking. Let's practice. Sat there, someone talks, starting over. 1 minute of no talking. Starting over. And it's hard for them, and I know, like, especially my kindergartners really need to be taught those skills, like taking turns when speaking. I know that's something they need to learn. Our normal learning times are fine, so whenever I pull my first graders and I'm doing first grade with them, whenever I pull my kindergartners and I'm doing kindergarten with them, that is fine. It's just whenever the morning and the afternoon, when we're having like our morning meeting, or when I have to tell them something as a group, that it's really difficult. So we're working on that. Also, I'm realizing my first graders are coming in a lot more on like middle of the year kindergarten, maybe, instead of like beginning of the year first graders. So I'm having to take a step back. We were doing those mix-it sentences that I was telling you about, and some of them couldn't tell me what an uppercase letter was. So I'm just like, okay, we're gonna take it a couple steps back. We're gonna go slow. We're gonna make sure we got this. My kinders, they loved the little gumball game. It's so sweet to watch them just play with each other. So we're doing, again, color words. I think they're doing a really good job of, when they're with my aide in the library, focusing on her, listening to her. When they're with me, focusing on me, listening to me. We did have to stop today because we had a safety drill. So our principal came on the speaker, which it was really quiet in our classroom, but he like walked us through the different drills, and they did a really good job with that. It's just hard because you get kind of lost in the things that they're working on, you know? I did send home a bracelet today for all my kids to remind them to wear camo tomorrow. So hopefully we can get like a cute like boot camp picture. We're finishing that tomorrow. I have to go home and make Play-Doh tonight. Shoot. One of the kindergarten teachers gave me her recipe because I have never actually made Play-Doh before. I mean, I did when I was a kid. Here's the recipe: 1.5 cups flour, a cup of boiling water, 1/2 cup of salt, 2 teaspoons cream of tartar, 2 teaspoons oil, canola oil, and food coloring. I can do that. I'll make a bunch of Play-Doh tonight. And other than that, we are finishing up assessments. I got some handwriting samples today. One of my first graders cried because I asked him to write his ABCs, so I'm the worst. And then I think just what made today extra hard is one of my kids who really needs a lot of help, and luckily I have some help in here, but he could not keep his hands to himself all day long, hitting kids, shoving kids, pushing kids. One of my kids hurt his arm, one of my kids hurt his foot, and then I have another student who I feel like I'm gonna win him over. He's just very defiant right now and very challenging. That's okay, because kids like that, like once you get to the point where they kind of flow with you, it's much better. And today we were doing our About Me bags for morning meeting. A couple of students were sharing. I was playing the name, I don't know, I'm calling it the name game. I saw it from my friend Emery at the Chi-Town teacher. But you say, where is Maylene? Where is Maylene? And she would say, here I am, here I am. And we'd say, good morning, Maylene. And she'd say, good morning, class. And then I always forget the last part of the song, and I think I said we'll say like, nice to meet you, friend, or something, because I can't ever remember what the last line is, and I think it's so funny. But one of my students came up, and we'll say his name is John. So he said, where is John? Where is John? And he gets up there, and he's like, here I am. Here I am. And then I just went, good morning, John, just with a very like grumpy face, and he thought it was hilarious. And I'm like, I'm like chipping away at whatever exterior you've got going on. So I really actually enjoy those kids. It's just, you got to get over the hump. My one who can't keep his hands to himself, that's just hard. I'm gonna do this mandate activity I saw from Amy's Adventures that she used in her classroom, where you how does she explain it? Something about a kid like hurting their elbow and giving them a band-aid for their elbow, but then if another kid hurts their knee, you say you'll give them a band-aid for their elbow, and then you have another kid say, I hurt my arm, and you say, okay, here's a band-aid for your elbow, and you have another kid say, I hurt my head, and you say, okay, here's a band-aid for your elbow, to show them that fair doesn't mean everyone gets the same thing, which I have that little poster right here. Here's my little poster. This is free in my TBT. But I think we're gonna talk more about that. But other than that, I'm just kind of overwhelmed with everything that comes at being at a new school. So like getting your specials organized, just knowing what to do, when to do it, all that stuff is really still overwhelming with me, trying to figure out different situations with different teams. Like it's just a lot, so I feel overwhelmed. And it's one of those things where people will say, how can I help you? What do you need? And you're like, I can't even tell you. Like I can't even tell you. It just is. So I'm gonna go home and I guess make some Play-Doh, and I'll see you on Thursday, tomorrow. And hopefully I remember to wear camo because I told all my kids to. Same day, obviously, except it's 7:30. If I look tired, it's because I am tired, but I thought it was rude of me to make Play-Doh and not make it with you. So I gave you my teammate's recipe. I'm not actually using that recipe because it didn't have instructions and I really didn't want to mess it up. So I'm using a recipe that I found online that had instructions with it. Okay, so here's the Play-Doh I made just now. This is what it looks like. Squish it for you so you know it's still hot. Actually, I just finished it, but I'm making another batch, and this was a double batch. So the recipe I'm showing you is a double batch. So here's what it looks like. Hopefully that's focused. It's very squishy. You can make your snakes with it. It holds, I think, pretty well. So I like this recipe. I also decided on this like pretty blue-green color. So we're gonna try to mimic that. Who knows? Who knows if we'll get there again. So for the doubled recipe, you can't even see. This is not like my normal cooking videos that are like nice because we're tired. This is 2 cups of water, and I've got my food coloring here. I'm gonna be using blue and green. I think this is blue. And I'm gonna add my food coloring into my water because that's how you do it. That's Tesla's food, ignore it. Okay, actually this is green. I think this one is blue. I have gel food coloring, so I'm gonna make it blue. Pretty, we love her, but we're gonna change her just a little bit, sorry. I'm gonna get some green, and now we're gonna make her blue-green. What next? Oil. We're gonna get some oil. For the doubled recipe, we're gonna do 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. And that's it for the wet ingredients. So we're gonna set that aside. Then we're gonna take a pot, just like this one. And we are supposed to do 2 cups of flour. I don't know if I have 2 cups of normal flour left, but I have cake flour as a backup because you guys know that I love my cake flour. So, okay. Let's see if we can get 2 cups. I don't think so. Honestly, we're gonna try them. Ooh, we might. Oh, no, we don't. We don't have it. It's okay. Oh, do we have it? Do we? Maybe. Let's see. What if it's just exactly 2 cups? Probably there. We're gonna add just a little bit of cake flour just because I don't want to mess it up. I'm gonna add a little. Then, table salt. You need a 1/3 cup times 2, so 2/3 cups. That was a heavy 1/3 cup. 2. Cream of tartar, 4 teaspoons. 4. Okay. Now, kind of the fun part, we get to add in our water mixture, our wet mixture, into the pot. And then we're gonna take it over to our stove. Medium-ish heat is what I'm told. Then you just mix. It's getting a little thicker. It's nice because it doesn't like stick to the pot. It just kind of falls away. I can't believe I've never made Play-Doh before in my adult life. I mean, not that I really had a reason to, but like if I had known it was this easy, I would have made Play-Doh for my other classes, but I really did not know. So now you know. It's kind of hard to see with my lighting and I can't really like film it with one hand, but it is thick now and it can be like clumped together. So that's what that looks like. Okay, again, ignore our glasses in the back where we're soaking them. I'm gonna dump it on my counter. There we go. Oh, it's still hot. I don't know if you're supposed to actually, I never actually dumped this one out. I just dumped it in a bowl. Scooch over. Oh gosh, okay. Let's get this one out. Actually, I did a really good job getting them almost the exact same color when I clearly didn't measure. We'll just do that. I think this was a success. I'm really happy with how this Play-Doh turned out. I might take a trip to Dollar Tree really quickly and get some containers. I could just put it in baggies, but I really don't want to waste the baggies because kids are not good at closing baggies, so I don't want to keep them in baggies. So I might go to the good Dollar Tree. Okay, so I think these containers I just got are too big. Also, I dropped one of these on the floor and it's literally just flour and salt, but Tesla was trying to eat it, so that's going in the trash. One less Play-Doh dough ball. She was really chomping at it too. She tried so hard. Tesla, it's literally just flour. Like, you don't want it, I promise. Okay, these are too big. I was wanting to give them all individual ones. Do they need them? No, but I kind of wanted it. So I might like see if another teacher wants these little cup things or something, or just put them to the side. And I'll just portion this out tomorrow. I did find some other stuff at Dollar Tree. I got some stuff. This is all literally just some fine motor things and magnets. Good morning. Today is almost a Friday. Today is Thursday. It feels like a Friday because we're finishing our boot camp today, or like kindergarten, first grade supplies boot camp. But I was thinking about it last night, and one of the things that has been harder for me, I think, is not having my document camera, because a lot of times I can show them how to do things and teach them, and they can be spread out or not like right up on the carpet where they're all like fighting to see, and I'm realizing I don't have my doc camera. So that's why things sometimes are feeling this way at the carpet for me. So hopefully I can get that soon. I know they said they had one, I just don't have it. Because the one that I bought for myself personally, the Hue, the neck broke. I had to like tape it together, and I reached out to their customer service forever ago. They never got back to me, so there's that. So today pretty much all I have on the agenda is finishing the boot camp with our Play-Doh. And then I was thinking of maybe doing like a little directed art project. I would really love my document camera though. I also got this. It is like grease makeup, like for parties and Halloween and all that. And I wanted to do like eye black, because we're finishing, and I thought it'd be cute. And I was remembering last night we have back to school night, which is virtual, but still. So that'll be fun. I stayed up last night putting together my PowerPoint for back to school night. I really don't like to make these things too like long. Plus I did give my parents already like a lot of info about our classroom, about me, like they have all that. So I'm not gonna be, you know, going into too much detail. Okay, here's my PowerPoint. I am blocking all of the like personal important information. So I have an agenda to start off with: arrival, what to bring to school, field trips, homework, practice, and then I'm going to go over our arrival routine just to make sure parents are aware. This is what they need to bring every day. Some of my kids have really tiny backpacks, which have been fine right now, but we are going to be sending papers home, and they're just crumpling them up and putting them in their backpack. So a normal size backpack, a snack, and a water bottle, and then their bee binder, which I haven't put together yet because they don't have the binders. Then I'm going to talk about field trips because this is important and upcoming, and I wanted to get all of the important information out first. So here's our field trips, and then I'm going to be talking about class shirts because I want to do tie-dye shirts, and I'm going to iron on vinyl that says like whatever grade my class. And then I'm going over what is in their bee binder, or what will be in their bee binder, and then we're gonna do the schedule. I saw one of my friends, Pencils to Pigtails, post about this handle with care message. So if they ever come in, maybe the parents don't want to say like, oh, like so-and-so's dad went to jail. Like if they don't want to tell me something traumatic has happened, but they still want me to kind of be aware their child might be a little bit off that day, they can just send me this message, handle with care. And then I'm talking about when we have counseling. So I'm going over our schedule. I blocked out my aide's name, but this is when she takes them. Blocked out my aide's name. Go over the schedule. And then I have a last page that just has like some donations if they would like, and then questions. So very simple, very sweet. Okay, they're all portioned out. Also, I got these baskets from Dollar Tree last night. Can you believe it? They're like actually cute. So I put all the Play-Doh in here. I also made little Play-Doh name templates that I'll have them do after we practice using it. But we're basically just going to go over like, this is a snake, this is a ball, how you store it, things like that. At the end of the day, today was honestly one of our best days so far, except I'm really sad because I have 2 out because of contact tracing, 1 out because they're sick, and another out because of contact tracing. So I actually had 6 kids out today, which is a bummer because we had a really good day. And today we finished up our boot camp. We did Play-Doh and they loved that. So I let them take that home and we made our little hats. We got a cute little picture together. I used that party makeup to paint this little eye black on them, and at first they weren't really sure, and then everyone wanted it. It was so adorable. And then they came in from recess and it had like sweated off, and they're like, can I have some more? So they really liked it. That was adorable. And then what else did we do? I feel like our morning like literacy routine is pretty good, and then the afternoon we're still working on. So we did calendar today for the first time, which was rough, and I think it's because we did it after we did Play-Doh, so they were kind of like riled up, but they did a really good job with the Play-Doh. So I'm kind of like, it's okay, tomorrow will be better. And the calendar routine was fun. I think the biggest thing at this point is just so many of my kindergartners just shout everything they say. We're really working on raising your hand and practicing that patience and that waiting and that self-awareness, but it's very hard for them. I am loving my What Should Danny Do book. Like, it is a saving grace, honestly, because they will sit and they will listen to that book because they want to make all the choices for Danny. They love it. So this is the school day one that I've been reading, and eventually we're going to switch to the normal What Should Danny Do, and then we're going to do the What Should Darla Do. I also got a dot cam, so that is exciting. And actually that reminds me, I was using the dot cam today to talk them through just Play-Doh routines. We're talking about when we're done with it, we put it in a ball, talking about how to break it, how to roll it, all those things. And usually we always talk about like what we don't do, and I was like, do we leave it on the floor? No. And then one of my kids goes, do we throw it? No. Like, he was mimicking me, and I thought that was so funny. So what we did with the Play-Doh was we had them practice making letters, and then I had them make their name with Play-Doh, and then I gave them some tools. Really, this was just a fun last day thing to kind of wrap everything up and get them just socializing a little bit more, because some of my friends are still really scared to socialize. And then we actually did like a Play-Doh directed, you know how they have directed drawings on YouTube? They have directed Play-Doh things. And that was interesting too, because some of my friends really need to work on following multi-step instructions. So that was actually really, really helpful, and really helpful for me to see. Oh, something else I did with my kinders today. So all my first graders were working on poetry. They were actually working on in their poem today, finding uppercase letters. And I'm really sad that I don't get to do it with them, but it's something really simple that my aide can do. So you gotta let go sometimes, even though poetry is my favorite and I really wanted to do it. She's doing a wonderful job with them, so I'm excited about that. So with my kinders, what I did was I gave them all a dice, and I partnered them up, and they each got to pop it, which of course they were so excited about. And they rolled the dice, they counted the number, and they popped a color. And that was what we did, and it was so simple, and they did a really good job with it, actually. I'm honestly impressed. This group of kindergartners that I have, they can subitize really easily. Like, they say 2 and they know it's 2. They see 5 and they know it's 5. And that was a little bit shocking to me, but very proud of them at the same time. We also read The Color Monster before we did our color activity for kindergarten. Today was a whirlwind, but it went really well. Tomorrow is gonna be honestly even crazier, because we're gonna be going to the computer lab in the morning. We're gonna be going to library in the afternoon, and it's gonna be Friday. So tomorrow is gonna be a little bit crazy. To be honest, I'm really looking forward to next week, because I really want just a solid routine. And hopefully I have more kids here. I have a couple who aren't going to be back till September, which is really sad. So I also have to get work ready for them, and I also have to get planned and prepped for next week. And we also have back to school night tonight at 5:30. So I'm feeling pretty busy, but since we finished boot camp, I'm going to take down all the decorations, and I think that'll make me feel refreshed. Actually, change of plans, I was going to take it down, but I remembered today's Thursday, and today is the day that me and John work out, and he has not worked out yet, which means I'm gonna go home, and then I will take this down tomorrow morning. Maybe, or maybe it'll just be up for the rest of the week. Who knows? 3:45 on Friday, and I was about to leave, and then I remembered I did not vlog at all today. First time that I totally forgot to set my alarm last night. I stayed up late last night. I'm part of the Reading Simplified Academy. I pay like $30 a month for it. It's expensive, but I learned so much. This isn't an ad, obviously, but I stayed up last night just like watching some videos and like getting some resources. And I guess I just totally forgot to set my alarm for this morning. And so I woke up at 6:30 all on my own and was like, oh, guess I better head to school. So I made it. I was definitely still way early. It's fine. But I printed these just because someone in the Reading Simplified Academy Teacher Lounge space was talking about them. It's Print Rhythm from, I think, Peterson handwriting. I don't know, but I'm going to be using those. Today was honestly a really long day, and I don't have like too many positive things to say about it, if we're being totally honest. I have a couple of kids who are out, and we're doing independent study for those kids. I had one kid who had to leave in the middle of the day because they suddenly felt sick. I'm having a lot of interactions with my students who cannot keep their hands to themselves, and it's to the point now where parents are contacting me, so I'm having to work with the special ed teacher. And so I went and met with her after school, and there's just so much going on. And today was not a normal day. We made scribble art. You can see it behind me. So I have art up on my walls. I guess I can show you that because that was fun. But today was just one of those days. And like, I feel like this is the most unnormal school year I've had, because I thought going in that it was going to be pretty normal, but things just feel weird and off. Anyways, this is what we did. I saw it from I think someone on TikTok, and we talked about warm and cool colors, which they did really well with, and we made just like this little tree landscape. So we used a marker for this, and I showed them how to make the little trees, kind of like the letter Y, and we practiced the scribble. We were using clipboards, so that's why there's like this space, because they were using clipboards. So yeah, that's what this looks like. They actually came out pretty cute. And that was our first like art project that we did together. So I taught them how to mat it. I just pulled them up back to my table and had them glue the border and stick it on construction paper. Gosh, we did coupons today. I only brought out 3 coupons. Take a selfie, sticker picker, and sweet tooth. And I let them pick, and I'm having them keep their coupons in their book bins. We haven't used the book bins too much. I haven't really needed to use them yet for anything. And I'm just doing it very slow. They have this little pouch, and there will be more stuff in here eventually, but right now, literally it's just a coupon pouch. And I like those little pouches. I hauled them in my classroom haul. Gosh, I just feel like I'm flying by the seat of my pants. I feel like I cannot catch up. Oh, and if you're curious about our Play-Doh adventure, I was talking with a teacher after school, and she was like, here, you can have these. So I think I will make some more Play-Doh for my kids and give them individual Play-Doh. I mean, okay. I actually pulled it out today as one of their free choice, and they did a great job with it. I'm like, okay, maybe we can do it. So she gave me these little containers. She said they were from Target. Perfect size. They can fit them in their book bins. It's not going to take up space. So I'm going to do it. I'll make them more Play-Doh. They really loved it, and they're doing a great job with it. And when we did our Play-Doh Bootcamp, I actually had a Play-Doh activity on the board, and so it taught them how to make like a bear, and we did a butterfly. And for some of the videos I had to pause it so my kids could keep up and do it, but I didn't know there were directed Play-Doh videos like there are directed drawings, and they really loved it. And today they were all making the bears, like they remembered it and it was useful to them. So I like that idea. And then what else did I have going on today? I did wake up late, but like I said, I still got here way early. Made my coffee with 4 shots of espresso. Luckily I didn't finish it because I would be even more scattered than I am now. And I have no idea fully what we're doing next week because everything kind of feels so up in the air with me, and I really want to get like into our normal routine. I want to get into our normal activities because this week was really all about routines and just practicing basic classroom things, and we didn't like fully even do all of that. I still feel like just very scattered, honestly, just very scattered. I have a long to-do list. I'm gonna be here this weekend. Yeah, so I'm gonna close the vlog here. I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna work out with John, and you guys will see next week how everything works out. I feel like I'm gonna get myself together this weekend. I haven't even fully like put up everything in the classroom I want to put up, but that's also the last thing on my mind right now. I'm just really hoping I can get next week fully prepped and planned for, and then just see how it really works. I've been loving our schedule, even though we're not getting to things. And yeah, so today was very, very Friday. Went to computer lab for the first time, went to library for the first time. I'm just exhausted, totally exhausted, really looking forward to the weekend. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have questions about things, me too, I'm just kidding. But if you have questions about things, leave them in the comment section. I respond to all my comments. I can let you know how certain things work. If you want me to elaborate on things in the future, let me know. I feel like I'm like rushing through this, but I am tired and I'm ready to go home. But yeah, first full week is in the books, so we did it.